We now have NGINX and MySQL installed on our server. We still don't have anything that can be used to generate and serve dynamic content. PHP is a powerful scripting language that fulfills this purpose. It's also the programming language used to code WordPress, and for this reason, it's required that we install it. Unlike Apache, NGINX does not contain the ability to process PHP natively. In order to process PHP, we will need to install a processing manager known as PHP-FPM. FPM stands for Fast CGI Process Manager. This process manager will be used to process PHP requests on our server. We'll start by installing the module and a helper package that allows PHP to communicate with our database. To do this, you're going to type in the following command. apt install php-fpm php-mysql and press enter. Type in Y at the prompt and press enter. Now the components contained within the lemp stack bundle are now installed. We still need to configure some additional modifications to instruct NGINX to use the PHP processor for dynamic content. This is done by modifying the server block configuration files on NGINX. Server block files are similar to virtual host files in Apache. They instruct the server on how to process many different components. For example, if you have multiple domains, they would be configured in block files. You can also specify what type of file extensions a block can handle, for example, PHP, HTML, and so on. Since we will only be hosting one domain on this server, we can modify the default block configuration file to suit our needs. This file is contained within the Sites Available directory in the NGINX folder. To access this file that we need to modify, type in the following command. So this command starts with nano, and that's going to open the text editor nano. It's going to open our default block configuration file in nano text editor. So go ahead and press enter once you've typed that in. So this is what the file looks like here, and to scroll up and down, you can use your up and down arrow keys on your keyboard. In this file, we can see some of the important items that the block file handles. So for example, in the server block, you can see the listen parameter, and this parameter instructs NGINX on what port the server can listen on. In this case, we have port 80. When we install our SSL certificate, you'll see additional ports expanded into this list to accommodate secure traffic. This is the document root folder, and this directory is where all our website files will be contained. NGINX will serve the default index file located in this folder, in our HTML folder. Okay, the next directive here, we can define the supported file extensions that NGINX will support. So one thing you'll notice is that PHP is not listed, and then there's a comment here, add index.php to the list if you're using PHP. And we'll certainly be using PHP, so I'm going to go ahead and add it. And I've added it first in the list, even before index.html. So that means index.php is going to have preference over index.html. So if somebody visits our website and we have an index.php file in our HTML directory, well, that page is going to be loaded as our default home page. And that's exactly what we want. So make sure you add index.php here. The server name directive is also another important one. This instructs our server on which block configuration file should be used when a request is made to the server. So for example, if we were hosting 2 domains, we would need a separate block configuration file for each domain. And each block file would then specify a unique domain name which contains the settings relevant to that site. Right? So here, right now we don't have a domain name attached to this block file. We will be doing that later on in the course, but for now, we're only using our IP address, our droplets IP address, to access the web pages on our server. So if you recall, to access our server, we'd plugged in the IP address of the server in our web browser, and then the default NGINX web page was presented. Now this page is in the HTML directory, and that's why it came up there. So we don't have a domain name yet. So I'm going to copy out the IP address, and I'm going to enter it over here. Okay, you can get rid of the slashes and also the HTTP. We just need the IP address, and that's it. So the next item here is the location block. There are a number of directives contained within the location blocks. So the first one here we see is try files, and this parameter will instruct our server on how to handle requests for pages that are not found, so also known as 404 errors. If you ever visit a website and you try to go to a page and it's not found, it's known as a 404 error. So we will need to go ahead and make some changes to this file. So just try to follow along as best you can, but just do it very carefully so that you don't make any mistakes. Otherwise, NGINX will not be able to interpret our block file correctly. So the first change we need to make here is you're going to uncomment this line. We need to activate it. Also uncomment this line. And we'll go over them in just a second. For now, let's just focus on making the changes that we need to make. Okay, also uncomment this line here. Or rather, this line, sorry. And you're going to change PHP from 7.0 to 7.2. Now uncomment the closing bracket because we have an open bracket as well, so we need to close it. Uncomment this line here, this line, and this line. Okay, so that covers all the changes we need to make. And I'm just giving it one more pass just to make sure that I haven't missed anything out. And everything looks good. These two parameters here include snippets and fast CGI pass. This points our server to 2 important configuration files that are used to process PHP content. And that's why we need to uncomment those lines. Otherwise, some of the components we install later will not work properly. This last location block that we uncommented, this instructs our server not to process .htaccess files. If any .htaccess files are found, they will not be served. And again, this will come in handy later on. So after making the necessary changes, you're going to go ahead and press Control X. And it's going to ask you if you want to save the file. So Control X is to exit. We've made some changes, so we do want to save these changes. I'm going to type Y at this prompt over here and then press Enter to write the changes. Okay, perfect. So we can now test our new block configuration file using the following command. You're going to type in nginx -t and press enter. Perfect. So it says the configuration file syntax is okay and the test was successful. So you want to make sure you see that message. If you don't, it's possible that you made a typo when you were configuring the changes to the file. So you'll just have to open the file again. Just make sure that There's no issues there. And save the file if you have made any changes. Since there's no errors reported here, we can reload our server to make the necessary changes. Just make sure that they're applied. And to do that, you're going to type in the following command. And press enter.